Hey everybody, it's Member of Parliament Bob Zimmer today with MLA Jackie Jacobson.
Welcome, Bob, to Tuktoyaktuk.
Thanks for having us out.
Yep, happy to have you here.
And we're beautiful Arctic Ocean is just behind us here. Absolutely beautiful and stunning scenery. I can see why you want to come home all the time, Jackie. That said, we've been going around talking to some residents, and there's some significant issues in Tuk.
Mm-hmm.
What are the issues in Tuk?
Well, biggest concerns that we have is in the whole riding is one is housing,
Yeah.
two is the healthcare, and three is the carbon tax and the cost of living that's affecting the territory,
Yeah.
but across in my riding,
Yeah.
which is the most northerly riding in the NWT.
How does it affect residents, that carbon tax?
I think the cost of the foods that have gone up, I think it's between 17 and 23%.
Wow.
In perishables, your produce and your milk, and everything's gone up in price. So it's affecting younger families, affecting single mothers, single fathers, and the family as a whole. The cost of living now, it's not your funds are not making it to the end of the month.
Right.
On check to check. The
Yeah.
funds are making it for the first 2 weeks.
Right.
So now you're again, like I said in a legislative assembly,
Yeah.
we're starting to have to pick to pay one bill, buy a little bit of groceries,
Right.
and try to keep up and stay afloat.
Right.
But the carbon tax has really affected my constituency of Nunakput right across the board. So we're really hurting here.
Tuktoyaktuk, the economy's already been hit by a decision from the federal government with the moratorium, so the economy's already been struggling, and then the carbon tax is just kind of added on to all that. It's making it very difficult to buy food and keep your kids warm in the winter, and buy things like diapers and other needs for especially young mothers, like you say. So talk about the economy. What have you seen in the past? We've heard some stories about what it used to be like here.
But well, thanks for bringing that up. We're resource rich and cash poor.
Right.
We have enough oil and gas to sustain Canada for 100 years in regards to for LNG and
Right.
not for the oil and stuff like that. But it's all stranded gas now.
Yeah.
We're put down to a point where we're having to accommodate to tourism,
Mm-hmm.
and try to make a living that way.
Yeah.
70s, 80s, 90s, in the 2000s, we had oil and gas coming. Oil and gas here strong.
Mm-hmm.
People had jobs. People were, basically had no worries about work
Mm-hmm.
and worrying about buying food or paying your bills. It was all because there's so much work here. We didn't ever have to worry.
Right.
But now, moratorium gets put on us. Still, I find it hard to believe because as an invalid beneficiary,
Yeah.
you're on a settled land claim.
Right.
How could they hold that above us?
Right.
And I still wonder about that, and I'm hoping, in time, that change comes in regards to
Right.
the moratorium being lifted,
Absolutely.
and having our Invalid Regional Corporation and our take care of our own
Yeah.
and take care of ourselves here.
Right.
Like I said, and I think on a go forward, I think another one is getting into it is for the whole riding as a whole is housing.
Right.
We have no housing. CMHC has strapped the territorial government and the communities as a whole. You're only allowed so many, so I have 178 units in Tuktoyaktuk.
Mm-hmm.
And if I replace a brand new unit, and one unit has to come out, so there's no growth. So
Right.
there's no growth in the community. There's not able to.
It's impossible, really, because
It's impossible.
meanwhile,
yes.
the government, we hear the housing minister talk about all this investment in housing, rapid housing initiative, on all those kinds of things. And then, the first I heard of it, Jackie, was that numbers never get bigger. It always is a new replacing old. That's all it ever does.
Yes.
So it explains why we're not seeing the housing numbers go up.
Yep. Housing numbers will never go up across our territory, in especially the small communities. We got younger generation coming up with no homes.
Right.
So they all have to either go to somewhere central, either Inuvik or Yellowknife.
Yeah.
And that's not fair for them because we're born and raised in the communities, and we're it's always a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's pretty sad, you talked about it just driving over here. Sense of hopelessness for some of the kids here. Why is kind of that an issue in the community?
We had over the last 2 years since COVID and stuff like that, we had we had a lot of attempted suicides, and we had some suicides that were successful. And as a community leader, we all hurt.
Yeah.
Because we all know everybody. We watch those kids grow up,
Yeah.
and to see what they become, and something like this happens.
Yeah.
It affects everybody: leadership, elders, family members, and the thing is that it's why in this day and age we have to struggle so hard
Mm-hmm.
to be able to try to survive in regards to our federal government. They should be taking care of us, not penalizing us
Right.
for where we live, because we are penalized.
Right.
As a member of Legislative Assembly, that's how I feel.
Right.
I'm penalized because I live in the most highest Nunakput riding across in the Northwest Territories.
Right.
And for myself, I think that they failed us.
Mm-hmm.
Federal government's failing right now in my riding.
Right.
They need to step
Talking
up.
about Jackie, we also talked about hope.
Yeah.
And about hope can come back to Tuktoyaktuk. There's we met some, just that young mother Charmaine there, just has a beautiful smile and has such a positive outlook. And there's so many in the community that are like that. But how do you see hope coming in a stronger way to the community of Tuktoyaktuk?
Well, taking a long 10-year outlook, lift our moratorium, get us our jobs back, but letting IRC and the Invalid Corporate Group take that step for us in regards to opening up the moratorium in the Beaufort Sea.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a year or two to do, but lifting the moratorium. But not only that, we have to be able to let our youth do like with the schools and stuff like that right across Nunakput. The youth are forgotten in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the big housing, the health, everything but youth. And that's when they cut stuff, that's the first thing they cut is out of our youth. That's got to stop.
Right.
Our youth are our future. That's what everybody likes to say.
Yeah.
But they don't back it up.
Right.
And as an Inuvialuit, I worry, and I worry about the future of my youth, the future, the people in my riding, Sax Harbor, Paltuk, Ulu.
Yeah.
The hope we get work, hope the programs still keep coming in, and trying to make ends meet, because it's tough living here.
Yeah.
And like I said before, we're penalized because of where we live, and that's not right.
Well, Jackie, I can tell you from all the people that, just driving around the community, all the waves, and everybody knows who you are. Yeah. And I think you're doing a great job in your community. And, I've seen you've taken care of the kids in the community just within your home. And to see what you're doing for your community is just, you're doing an excellent job. Thanks for what you're doing for Tuktoyaktuk and the members of your riding. And just as a Canadian, thanks for all you do.
No, thank you for coming to Tucken and taking the time for us.
Been an honor.
Yeah, thank you, sir.